Daytona, USA. Come on.
Control, down the crush, coming down on the tree. Better hurt yourself. Hey, are you right? It's a body coming up behind you. Come on. You're running out the tires, baby. Have a blast, man. Have a blast. Yeah. Also, let's meet. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of the Blanchard's Tone Xfinity Series. Tonight is the lid lifter for season number 3. Peyton Johnson won the inaugural championship. Of course, Ross Tatum, the defending champion. And now we are set to make history at the Virtual World Center of Racing. After preliminary qualifying and the duels last Tuesday night, we're ready for the first points race of the season. Take a look at the starting lineup. Bernard Person put the fast time down for Screaming Eagle Motorsports in the number 8 machine with Holden McGill on the outside of row 1. Red Tucker, Jonathan Cofield will make up row 2. Ryan Johnson and Cody Knott will make up row number 3. Jeffrey Johnson, Adam Newton is row 4. Dustin Castile and Carl Burke, your top 10. Chris Blanchard behind Blanchard's Towing is starting 11th, and Greg McConey will start 12th. I'm Wesley Outland, and Dean Hopton has the rest of the lineup from row 7 on back.
Yes, good evening. Jonathan Tuckness will be in position 13. Colin Wennerholt will be alongside him. Dean Doucette, Randy McKenney, and Austin Evie and Joshua Suss will be running up behind them. Peyton Johnson and Trent.
And the Redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves and Mark Nelson. Top 30 starters will see Lucas Lyons and Matt Cherry, Trent Robinette, and, of course, TJ Moore is the race director. We're ready to go. Let's take a look real quickly at the race analysis on the bottom right of the monitor. Getting ready for Daytona. Of course, 250 miles, 100 laps. There will be stage cautions at the end of the first two stages of the race. Lap 25, lap 60. And then, of course, a 40-lap run to the checkered flag to lap 100. Overtime, he hangs in the balance if need be. 3 attempts at overtime, fuel percent capacity at 50%. We're under the lights, and overtime is 3 if necessary. Well, there's my mug. Hopefully one day we'll be able to see what of course, Biggles Dean Hopton looks like. But all of that is gone out the window as the pace car is coming onto the pit lane. Season number 3 of the Blanchards Towing NASRA Xfinity Series is underway at the World Center of Racing. We're green in Daytona.
Let's see if they get a good start at this one, and all of the 31 gladiators to make it around this classic track course. This is one you want to win. This is one you want to put a trophy on your cabinet. And let's see if you can get the job done today.
Right now, watching Bernard Person in that number 8 machine, the Screaming Eagle entry Toyota down to the inside. Tucker will follow door to door. Look at these guys getting a little antsy below the double yellow line. Got a long way to grow in this race, and obviously patience is key here. That's another thing we got to think about as well. Dean, this is a long race, 250 miles, 100 laps, and again, you got to. I would not be aggressive here in this first stage. Just kind of ride, see what your car does, get with your teammates if you can. Just knock off laps. I've always said that. I know it sounds like a broken record, but honestly, that's the truth.
Yeah, that's the case in all motor racing, really, at the end of the day. But you try to tell motor drivers to slow down. Race drivers don't slow down. They want to go for if-gap car. Sometimes that's a little bit risky for the biscuit. This early, of course, a little bit of a wreck can put you back a couple of laps in this green flag racing. But 2 down. Wes, 98 and change to go. So far, so good. Ryan Johnson in the lead.
Yeah, right now the field works their way to the back straightaway. This will be the completion of lap number 2. When they come to the line is right now Person stays locked to the inside. Cofield will follow. Boy, Jonathan Cofield has really stepped up. Got a couple of podium finishes of late. Had a good finish last night as well in the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series at Kona. And right now he sits in that second spot. There's Ryan Johnson now going for a pass on the outside lane. He's got the momentum and help with Rhett Tucker, the dual winner last week as they work in turn number 2.
Smooth operator, getting the job done. And up the front, of course, you're braking all the air, so you'll be using a little bit more gasoline than the other drivers will. So, but you get to dictate there, and of course, you don't have to worry about any wrecks happening up the lead either.
All this going on as they work their way again into the corner, down into turn number 3 and 4, working off of that 31 degrees of banking. Into the tri-oval now. Look at Rhett Tucker trying to make a move on the inside to the outside of the driver of the 38 of Johnson. Johnson now powers to the lead. Person now going to battle back, and they're stride for stride up the banking into turn number 1 there, Dean.
Yeah, it's all about it. We're going to have a look at onboard there for the elevation changes. You can currently see as you're running on board with Caulfield. It's like you almost feel like you'd be flipping it upside down, aren't you? But that is how it is here in Daytona with that. Of course, the drivers won't be feeling it. They'll be feeling more realistically what it would be like, of course, when you're inside the machine like that. But there you have it. And they're starting to get a little antsy out there. A little bit of door banging so far.
Hold on to that spot as they work their way off the corner. Thanks for everybody that's watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for the NASRA 360 Racing Network tonight. It's the Blanchards Towing 250. Of course, this is the Season 3 lid lifter, the first points race of the season. They've had qualifying in the duels last week. The preliminary night, non-points. Now you got to get yourself in position for the first big race. And here's something to think about as well, Dean. You know, man, you ran out of the gate here at Daytona. You know you're going to the playoffs before anybody else as we move into the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, it's a good one to have, isn't it? Lock that race win into your belt there. Chris Blanchard, I wonder if he's actually using his his whole racing rig all set up like that too. He could do the whole 360 with the gyro cam. Stay safe, of course, everybody to Florida. There may be some Floridians at the moment that haven't been able to attend up, of course, which you wouldn't want to be, certainly with the dangers looming around the corner and evacuations, mandatory evacuations in certain areas. So please be safe. And we hope you are.
Yeah, definitely our thoughts and prayers are with everybody, obviously, that's being affected by what will be Hurricane Hilton. I think I saw Milton, I'm sorry. Hurricane Milton. I saw something earlier this afternoon that said they had picked up Category 5 strength again. And if people don't know the category or the Fujita scale in tornadoes or hurricanes, Category 5 is the top level, and that means it's catastrophic. So Godspeed to everybody. Please be safe. We're still mindful of our friends in Western North Carolina as well, recovering from what Hurricane Helene did, and anywhere else in part of the states as well, of Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, South Carolina. Rolling on, though, in this race. Hope you enjoy this at least 2.5-hour diversion to take your mind off of things. Mumford, Alabama's Jonathan Cofield up to the lead now as he just got around Ryan Johnson. Put the number 58 in the top spot there, Dean, as it goes into 3.
They're going single file as well, too, so a lot of them have yielded to give up on that. 3 abreast, even 4 abreast, we saw at the start of the race. Just getting slipping into a nice groove here, picking up some speed, starting to work together as teammates perhaps, and we'll see how it all pans out the rest of it. And all the easy switching around at the moment. Chris Blanchard's back down to P11 currently at the moment, and as the rest of the field make their way through. Everybody here this race from the United States of America, apart from Dean, of course, the man from Canada up north there, the number 5 machine. He's running currently down in P18.
Yeah, we're definitely keeping an eye on all of them, working their way off the corner. Of course, we mentioned Peyton Johnson, defending champion of Season 1. Our defending reigning champion is Virginia driver Ross Tatum, who is not in the field tonight. I just noticed that as well. As right now we watch them work into the corner. It's Cofield's car, donning some pink for October Breast Cancer Awareness Month. There goes Ryan Johnson. Ryan Johnson coming down on pit road on lap number 8. Gotta wonder if this is a strategy here, trying to get the undercut on maybe the rest of the field as the Wisconsin driver is in. Here comes Suss coming in. This has got to be a scheduled pit stop.
Yes, it has to be, isn't it? You've got too many drivers that will coming down together. Cullen Weatherholt, Greg McHoney, all electing in. So perhaps on the teams down on the radio going, okay, guys, let's go in now. That way they're not going to be left alone. Remember, Super Speedway, you don't want to be out there by yourself. You need a nice tow from other drivers, and therefore that's where these other drivers are going to come into play. So let's see if they all catch up there, and they're going to spread the track map around. We're going to have 2 packs essentially on the field, apart from the 25 as well too, who is Dustin, who's way out by himself. We'll have a look at the track map, just to have a look at what happened.
As you mentioned, Dean, you know, you got to have your partners coming with you, and here comes the second group now coming down onto the pit lane, led by Carl Burke, Phil Pappas. The 45 is on pit road as well of Matt Cherry. All these guys hooking up, and Matt Cherry overshot his pit box. That's going to make him lose about a second or 2 on pit road. As right now we watch these guys work their way to the back straightaway. This is the battle for the lead. 3-4 rows, door to door as they thunder down the super stretch.
And wondering, they've got to have a good communication too, because if you're on the outside lane, you can't be just scooting your way down a pit road. You're stuck. You're basically blocked in there. So you either lift off and go on the high line, or sneak down the inside line, and you can duck into the pits. But you've got to be very, very careful, don't you, when you lift off and alert the other drivers. As you start to see at the moment, there's a few peeling away. Bernard, Rhett Tucker, Adam Newton.
Here comes another group coming down to the pit lane, or boxing out, as Dean Hopton calls it. Person, Tucker, Newton, as we mentioned, the 6 coming in. All these drivers, Dean Doucette, I meant to say in the 5, the 6 machine, all coming down pit road. They're taking service. That was McCanny, by the way, in the Ford number 6. And again, this is literally splitting everybody into big packs here. Now, one big pack is now 3 or 4 different groups around the racetrack. Look at the track map now, and this is really changing things up here in the first stage of the race, no doubt, Dean.
It certainly is, and we're still quite a bit from the stage break, of course. We're looking for lap 25. We still got a fair way to go, and they're already changing those pit stop strategies of that. That explains the reason why they were all going single file earlier. there, Wesley, because that way it's easier for them to elect to go to the pit road rather than double file. So let's see at the moment the rest of the field. Yeah, we got the top 50, these 15 drivers that remain out at the moment have yet to go to the pit road.
Season 1 champion Peyton Johnson now up in front, leads the Cavalry, the Chevrolet, down the back straightaway. Tuckness now to second. Cofield, 2 Jonathan names in the top 3. They're all single file. Then you got Holden McGill, Jeffrey Johnson the second. Right now your top 5. They all hold their spots now. That's 4 Chevrolets, 1 Toyota in the top 5 as they thunder their way off of turn 4. Any other takers to pit road? Not yet. By the way, 15 drivers have not pitted yet. Right now they go back to 1.
Let's see how it's going to pan. How deep are they going to go into this race is going to be a crucial element to that. They are starting to catch a little bit of the other part, I think, up the road there. Yes, they are. There's a couple of the stragglers that were left out before that. I'd like to do a completely different strategy there. Do apologize. I am dropping some frames currently at the moment. Not quite sure. Green lights everywhere at the moment. I've seen for everything else, but it might be a little choppy out there.
Hopefully we can be able to make some adjustments and figure it out. Right now, we still will stay with you unless it gets a little bit more of an issue and we can step away and make adjustments right now. But we're closing in on 13 laps when they come to the line, this time by Peyton Johnson, the man up in front. It is Peyton Johnson, Tuckness, Cofield, single file, and they got some lap traffic up in front of them now, but that's a quickly cars going a lap down as they work their way in the corner into 1 and 2.
Got to go single file here, and they should go up. No, they're going to go around the outside there. So 17 truck at the moment can sit to it, do exactly what you can do. You don't have to move out of the way. Make everybody else move out of the way if you want. That's just a gentleman agreement that you have. And of course, there's a few more cars up the road there too, about to be lapped.
Yeah, patience is key, no doubt. And again, if you get lapped here earlier in the race, that it literally lets you be able to know that you can, you know, try to get back in this battle coming up later on. By the way, remember there will be that caution at the end of stage number 1, as we'll show you the format of the race again. That's coming up in less than 10 laps next time by. 10 laps remaining in stage number 1 as they work lap number 14. And Peyton Johnson, Tuckness, Cofield, none of these cars have pitted yet as they work their way again to the back straightaway.
I'm just wondering if they will. They got 10 to go. You don't want to give away some crucial stage points as well, too. So when you've gone this far into it, you don't have to be electing. If you get a pit road at the moment, that's going to leave some of the drivers. At least we know, and 14 drivers currently at the moment, that somebody can stay out there and get some stage points. So who wants it up and grab? Is that the Simpsons beer or something? No, that's the, what's that beer on they can see on that car there? That's Patriot beer. That's from Family Guy. That's right. In P3, I think that's Jonathan Caulfield.
Yeah, that's
no, it's
that's
not.
it looked like the Quaker Oats machine. Didn't we say Quaker Oats machine last week? It looked like the Quaker Oats.
That says 94 on it, but I cannot find the 94
That's
on the
number
timing tab.
3. It's the 3 machine. But
yes.
I think that's Tuckness's car. I think he's the number 3 on the track. Or Tristan Bruce, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. The Pawtucket Patriot Ale.
Yeah.
And, okay, so he's not the Quaker Oats man. It looked like the Quaker Oatmeal guy.
Yeah, well, it's similar, isn't it? But that's the Family Guy branding. Holden McGill, I thought Holden McGill goes in for a second, but Holden McGill, unfortunately, is blinking. He is here. He is kind of somewhere around that. There he is. I can't actually click on Holden McGill at the moment, but I believe he's around P4. Can you see that? The timing tower's going all crazy for me, though, Wes.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it up with that area. It looks like it's a blinking issue on Holden McGill falling back, and now he'll pop back up into the 4th spot again. So there you see him right now working his way back around the racetrack. Remember, Nazareth, there's watching it. If he continues to time out blinking, there will kick him from the server as it could become an issue. But right now, McGill trying to hold his own in that number 21 machine.
I can't even see him sometimes. Yeah, he's really blinking badly. That we do have race control out there. TJ Wood probably maybe on the radio to that driver soon saying, hold on, unfortunately, my friend. And that depends. He could also be chatting to some of the other drivers as well, too, isn't it? And they could be electing to say, hey, is it causing them a problem? Are their teammates? Are they working together?
Yeah, that's very true. We can definitely be keeping an eye on that, no doubt.
So that's one pack there, Wesley, and then we're on the back straight, and as it turns 3 and 4, you've got the leading the next pack up the road there is this one, and that's, I believe, we've got just Ryan Johnson and Justin White are leading that separate pack as they're coming around the start-finish line right now. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen 2 packs that are formed. They've all gaggled up, even with the lap cars in there. And we are waiting to see whether Peyton Johnson leading this first pack are going to go into pit road, or they're going to keep going for another 6 more laps through the stage break.
And that's the question. Remember, lap 25 will be the end of that first stage, as Dean reiterated on. And right now we're on lap number 18 of 25. This, again, looking at the race details tonight for the Blanchards, towing 250 to the back straightaway they go. It's, of course, Peyton Johnson, Season 1 inaugural champion on the inside. Flanked up on the outside is the Machine of Toughness right there along with him on the bottom. Then you've got the number 3 car. That's a lap machine, or a driver on the tail end of the lead lap, trying to hold on to his spot up high. Now 3 wide as they'll split the leaders. And here comes back here at Daytona into the first stage, and the first Surf Pro caution coming out at the end of the first 25 laps of the race. Ryan Johnson able to battle back at the end of the stage to pick up the win. Obviously, we got guys coming down on pit road actually watching them, and it was actually Peyton Johnson that actually won stage number 1. Ryan Johnson, after pit stops, has moved his way back to the lead again. Welcome back to coverage of the NASRA 360 Racing Network lid lifter of season number 3 tonight for the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. I'm Wesley Outlet. We've got Mr. Biggles, Dean Humpton alongside. Glad you and yours are along for the ride as well. Dean, good hard racing up in front the first quarter of the race of 100, but at the end of 25 laps, man, found a way. Peyton Johnson did to get around them and get that stage. And how important was it to get those 10 stage points quickly to start off the year?
Why not? Exactly. Points are points. Certainly when it comes down to playoff time, and we've seen that play on time, haven't we, on the Monday nights of the DSR, how quickly you need those points. They can come into handy later on. We are seeing a gaggle of cars coming in at pit road. We hope the broadcast is a lot better now. It's all showing greens for me, so I do bear with me on that one. I just stopped and restarted the software again, and sometimes it fixes it. You know, it's like turning things off and on again. But fingers crossed, it's done the job. As who comes out of common weather hole, stuff like that, coming out of pit road there, Jacob. About Jacob.
Hey, speaking of Colin Weatherholt, man, what a phenomenal job he did last night in the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series playoff race. Colin Weatherholt did. He advanced himself into the next round to the Fast 16. Obviously, their final race will be at Rockingham Speedway the next race, so that'll be fun to watch. No, I'm sorry. We're at Richmond Raceway. Richmond Raceway again next Monday night. My other series that I announced for late night on Monday night is going to be at the Rockingham Speedway. So obviously, I do 2 iRacing broadcasts on Monday night. So the lights are off on the pace car, and they're both full-fledged into the playoffs for the championship again next Monday night. NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. It will be the final round at Richmond Raceway for the round of 20 to make the Fast 16, and then of course, or the Fast 14, and then we will again have right now the restart for stage number 2 wraps up another Serve Pro caution. Fire, water, cleanup, and restoration. Serve Pro, making everything that needs to be restored look brand new again. We also get ready for stage number 2. It is presented by the Glass Mechanic as Barney, the iRacing flagman, looks ready to unfurl the green flag on lap number 28. This will go all the way to lap number 60. This is back to green in Daytona. We're ready to see what the action provides. It's now Ryan Johnson leads them into the turn number 1 now, Dean.
Absolutely. Let's see if they get a good start like they did. The caution-free session is exactly what we want to see. That way we can see that little flipperoo on those pit stop strategies like we had earlier. Wasn't it, Wesley?
Yeah, we'll certainly watch it as the green flag pit stops really shook things up, no doubt, at the end of the first couple of stages of the race. Right now, Ryan Johnson, Joshua Suss, Adam Newton, Cofield right now, the first 4 cars. Look at Cofield now battling alongside with Peyton Johnson, trying to get into that spot as they work their way. The Season 1 champion, get back in line. And, you know, around Daytona, trucks, Xfinity, and even tomorrow night for the NASCAR Cup Series as well, you know, they got to get about a lap or so before they can get up to full speed. And then, of course, we have everybody now bunched up with one another. Those green flag pit stops from that first stage, Dean, really separated the pack. But we're right now going to watch and see what happens here down with these guys.
Yeah, you're right, Wesley. I thought we started crunching numbers there and seeing which packs were taking advantage of the other packs and what was being better and not. So please let us know out there in the chat too if everything's all smooth operator and running well out there in the broadcast. So far it looks good.
He's
to
a
me.
smooth operator.
Smooth. That's exactly right. Ryan Johnson's a smooth operator in the lead of this race from Joshua.
Were you
Suss's up
testing me to see if I knew that song?
Oh, I know you know your songs there, Wesley. We'll go into a little music trivia at some point later on in the future. We'll have that, Wesley. I'll boot you in there.
Watching them now work their way down into the corner with Johnson on the inside. Look at Ryan Johnson, Joshua Suss now. Put him back in this mix. They thought about sticking it 3 wide. Nope, not yet. Even Steven, door to door as they're going to work their way with a field up on the outside lane. Look at Cofield. Cofield's going to carry Carl Burke with him. Tuck this up on the outside as well as Evie. And right now, Ryan Johnson protects the bottom of the racetrack. Throws the block on the machine of the 80 of Suss as they work their way back to the line on lap number 31.
Starting to get one of the drivers are going a little bit slow on the apron up there. Paul. Good news about Holden McGill. Looks like his internet's holding in right now. So he's not blinking like he was before. That's been resolved. He's back out in 14 after those pit stops. So, but what I also want to ask you there, Wesley, do you think, I mean, the nerves will be out of the drivers now, right? Because a lot of these drivers do drive on the other parts of the NASCAR network and got local racing, etc. So, starting off a new race, we're going to get 4, 5 even. Wow, what's going on here?
Thought about it for a second. 3, 4, maybe 5 wide. Stacked up, losing ground. Look at the 94 falling back of Jonathan Tuckness. Chris Blanchard also free falling, trying to get back up through the field. As all this going on, that could have been disastrous. Somehow they held it together, they were patient, and they worked their way back into the corner, Dean. Wow.
Drivers and patience in one sentence. I don't see that very often, but good on them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, but as I said, so I'm thinking the nerves are out right now, right? Because I said these drivers have raced to each other for many seasons now, some of them. So after that qualifying that we had, it's race time. I think things are settling in. So they're looking to be a very good series, this one. Another season of Xfinity Series brought to you by Blanchard's Towing and Recovery.
Working that back straightaway. Now working back to the front straightaway now, actually. From them awesome camera angles, Ryan Johnson still in the lead. Remember, this will go to lap number 60 of the stage. Already 25 laps to go here in stage number 2 here in Daytona. And right now, look at them work their way down into the corner. It is Joshua Suss, Jonathan Cofield trying to go after Ryan. Ryan's locked, committed to the double yellow line on the inside of the racetrack. But here comes Cofield. He's got a burst of momentum and a shot in the pants from the machine in the back by the 53 of Burke. Burke's got Tuckness in tow behind him, and they're pushing the outside lane, but it just can't work yet as they work off 4 here, Dean.
Engage afterburners and hit the nitrous. Just turn the nitrous tank on a little bit more. Get what you need, get up front. A lot of these drivers have been up front for a lot of this race, so they are kind of used to it. They do a little bit of a switcheroo. It's what you could do in the midfield too. How can you start maneuvering your way up? And who's going to think about going up to that high line Let's see if we can get 3 abreast starting soon. 53's thinking about it, just putting a nose out there. That's Carl Burke saying, anybody want to come with me up here? Yes, let's go. 3 abreast now. But is he getting anybody to chase him there, Jack, to Wesley? No. See? Left high for dry. That's the gamble, isn't it?
That's exactly right. And somehow they got to hold that line and not get aggressive. Tuckness now knows that. He's right there behind the back end of Cofield's car as they work their way to the outside lane on the bottom. Here comes now Ryan Johnson. And we got contact. Couple of cars in the back getting in the wall. Carl Burke's one of them. Carl Burke free-falling down the scoring pylon. He was up in the top 10. Now he's all the way back in the top 25 and 30. But no caution. They hold it together and they go back to 1.
Yeah, I wonder if he copped any little bit of damage on that one. It's simply the steering wheel. It's very hard to tell because you're going to be turning left. You're going to get to a straightaway to see if it's still going to be elevated. But, oof, yeah, lucky. He went up in that high line, of course, as you said. We saw it before. And then just started hugging the fence there as the drivers were passing him. And it's got sucked into the fence, I think, isn't it? Because that can happen. And then all of a sudden, almost prevented a big wreck, at least a wreck, the first wreck that we would have had this evening. Touch wood, we haven't had one yet.
Yeah, it could have been really chaotic there for a moment as the Glass Mechanic Stage 2 rages on. Thanks to all of our sponsors, by the way. You see them ticking up there on the top right. We're in Stage 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic. This will go all the way to lap number 60. Right now, we're on lap number 36 of 100. And right now, so far, the only caution we've had was that end of the stage of Stage 1. Don't forget, subscribe and like. Carl Burke's car got some damage after bouncing off of the outside safer barrier. He's onto the pit lane to the attention of his crew. And right now, it is Ryan Johnson leading the cavalry off of turn 4, thundering down to the line.
And when's Ryan Johnson done that? Quite a bit. He likes sitting up the front, doesn't he, for the 38 machine? Hanging around, controlling this race as well, too. When up the front, then you are controlling it. You have to get a bit of a toe from the other drivers. You have to have a lot of faith in the other drivers not turning you. And he likes it. He's comfortable. He might be sitting there sipping on one of those coffees or cappuccinos or something with his arm out the window. You know, his leg up on the side of the door or something like that. Going, oh, it's just a casual Daytona drive on a Tuesday night.
Look at Johnson right there to the inside, continuing to keep that momentum, locked to the bottom of the racetrack, to that double yellow line. Nobody stepping out of line. It's Cofield down to the top side of the racetrack. He's in second. He's door to door. Right there as they cross the stripe. Look at how everybody is even, Steven, if you will, going back up that 31 degrees of banking. Tuckness now, but a shot in the back of the rear end of the car. Cofield, though, just cannot seem to get around the Highline Racing driver of Johnson. And here comes help coming. Here comes now Suss. He got a shot, got loose, saved the cars. He's back in second now on the bottom.
Yeah, it's really about working together this one. It really is. Somewhere along the line, you got to left high for dry if you're not risky for the biscuit too much. And you said it's very difficult. Ryan Johnson's very good at parking that 38 in all the right places. So if you want to get around me, you got to get around me the hard way. Colfield's going to give it another shot here. But it's one thing to get around. Then you have to somehow try to find your car to get ahead of him. So then you can gain that position completely in control at what Ryan Johnson has been doing.
Side by side by side, they work their way back to the corner. That's all by myself.
I know, it's all by myself. I was just improvising it to be, hey, I don't want to get done for copyright. Here we go, down the back stretch into turn 3 and 4. Start another lap, another clean lap. 61 remaining because, what you mentioned, the Glass Mechanic stage break. Well, you know, we're going to get to 60. So, let's see if they can do it.
Johnson up in front. Holding on to that spot. Into the corner. It is Johnson on the bottom. Cofield will follow. Suss and Tuckness door to door. Look at now the move to the outside lane. Here comes Newton now. They call him the Bulldog. Snarling, growling on the inside. Here comes that Toyota in the battle. And by the way, now Newton in a Ford. Back straightaway. Cofield now the new leader, gun around Johnson. The outside lane, Dean might start to work as they climb the banking into 3.
Yeah, there could be that different change at the moment as the track starts to evolve a little bit, the temperature might change a little bit. As you said, there's a Ford up there of Adam Newton. There's a few other down the road there, but the Chevy 1, 2, 3 with the Toyota in the mix. We'll have to see if that high line starts working. That's one thing that the drivers will kind of let you know, isn't it? But it is a track evolution with the temperature and so forth. So it's not just something off the bat you can expect to go right up there immediately. It is dynamic.
We're going to go side by side as we thank some of our sponsors here on the NASRA 360 Racing Network, and we'll stay right here with you. By the way, don't forget, tomorrow night we're back here at the Virtual World Center of Racing at Daytona for iRacing and coverage of the NASRA Cup Series presented by Premier Racing Setups. And that'll be the big races tomorrow night, will be the duels. I'll tell you what though, Dean, man, I really enjoyed the single car qualifying. It was very entertaining last Wednesday night to be able to get a chance to meet the drivers, some new faces, new cars, and make them feel welcome as we see Adam Newton now coming down to the pit lane. Here comes Dean Doucette, the Canadian, all on pit road as pit stops, I believe, are about to start here now for round 2 in stage 2.
Ding, 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 round 2 exactly for the pit stops. I was going to say, I thought he wasn't going down by himself, was he, Adam Newton? Thankfully, he wasn't. So, were they the start last time around by Bernard Persson and so forth, if I remember correctly, or perhaps anybody can check and let us know? They were the first ones to do this pit stops, weren't they, in the first stage break. I remember that one now. We had 3 groups, remember? Primary groups that did their pit stops all alone. Box, 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 as they'd be saying in Formula 1. Here they come, the rest of them too. Rhett Tucker, Chris Blanchard. This is similar. I am seeing deja vu. That's only 2 this time.
Boy, Rhett Tucker and Blanchard coming down on pit lane by themselves. By the way, there is the Blanchard's Towing Machine number 9 sponsoring the Xfinity Series for now the 2nd year for NASRA. As there you see that beautiful looking race car now onto the pit lane. There's Dean Doucette flying by. The driver out of Clinton, Maine. Cofield in the lead. By the way, we're closing in on about 15 laps remaining here in stage number 2, presented by the Glass Mechanic at Daytona. So far, everything has been exactly like we predicted. Nobody getting out of line, nobody taking each other out. It has been patience key, working around the corner here off 4, back down to the tri-oval. Cofield and Johnson now side by side. More drivers on pit road as we see Castell bring his car into the pit lane, and more drivers are starting to pit here as we close in with 15 to go in stage number 2, Dean.
He's all by himself down there too, which is a bit of a strange one. An unscheduled stop perhaps, and he's had to go down there by himself. Maybe a completely different strategy to anybody else. Then say, all right, let me do my own thing. We'll see if it pans out. Anyway, he's got a bit of work to do. He's going to have to catch a lap back up. But anything can happen in motor racing and oval track racing, and anything can happen at Daytona too. There could be a big wreck, and he can all of a sudden have a big smile on his face as he laps 20 or so cars. But at the moment, he's just got to get back on the track. And here we go, slowing down pit stops. Ryan Johnson, Joshua Suss. Here's a gaggle of cars.
Look at the front runners, most of them coming in. Johnson and others, Suss, Pappas, White, McConey, all the way down into the pit lane. Look at this, and obviously hit your marks. Don't make any mistakes, as we already see Cherry pulling out of pit lane in the back, and here comes everyone else, even Steven coming out.
Yeah, but Ryan should still cover. Look how much of a gap Ryan had because of his qualifying. That's the advantage, isn't it, of stopping at the top of the box there. You could see these other cars. There might have been a bit of pressure on you. Like, come on, get the tire on, get the tire on, get the tire on. Caution! Wow, and they just stopped. Some drivers have to stop. So how is this one going to pan out, Wes?
We got a caution. It looks like the man in the 27th position, Justin White, is spun in the wrong direction. By the way, hey, Dean, can you make SDK track map be the numbers instead of the position on the track? I'm seeing that, but it is Justin White, by the way. Thank you, sir. That goes around. He's changed up his colors. Used to be silver and blue with the Concerns of Police Survivors sponsor. Now gold and black, if you will.
Oh, he's
and look at this. I think, is that Cherry? I think it's Matt Cherry that got into him in the 45. We'll look at the replay here and find out what happened as they were coming off of pit road. Watch the replay. And there it is. Yes, sir. I called it perfectly, Dean. Matt Cherry,
Yep.
the MPI 45 into the back of the right rear of Justin White. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he definitely just got a little aggressive on the pit lane exit and got into that driver to put us under caution.
That would be interesting because they're about to get the gasoline, get on the loud pedal, of course, because they're exiting the pit road and tires will be all cold. But at the same time, you've got to stick up the inside double-painted yellow line there. You can't just go crossing it. So generally, you think most of the drivers should be pretty much straight with a little turn to the left, obviously, because you're exiting it. So we'll see from race control. Well, it might be the very first race control incident they have to look at, as we're going to see these drivers come down because they're going to plan on coming down anyway. So they'll take advantage of that, led by Jonathan Caulfield. But now, that's got to put Ryan Johnson and the rest of the field back into the lead of this one because they took their pit stops just before.
I'm checking in. I'm looking at the comments of some people from earlier, and Joey Doucette or unorthodox master of whatever it is. I don't even know the hell that unorthodox master of games. Jared Barclay. If any of you guys are still watching, of the 15 or so, if you could comment and say, hey, it's better or it's worse on the broadcast, please let us know. It looks like on my end, it is not freezing as I checked it a moment ago, but obviously we want to make sure we have a better product out there. So if you can, please give us a yay or a nay. I know, what did you have to do, Dean? Bring the bandwidth down a little bit, I think?
No. I just had to completely restart the software for some reason because I have good bandwidth and I was checking my internet connection, all that sort of stuff's fine. It was all
okay.
Usually it was green. So I'm running it also on my iPad as well to his next screen, and I don't see it. That's how I also noticed it was causing some issues.
So it looks like it's good now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, good to go. Thank you very much, Jared.
Thank you very much, guys. I see it now. Thank you, Jared. And that's going to let us step away and thank our sponsors. We're back with more from Daytona in the Glass Mechanics Stage 2 here for the Blanchard's Towing 250 in just a moment. Back here at Daytona as we're about to approach the final 10 laps of stage number 2 presented by the Glass Mechanic in the Blanchard's Towing 250. And speaking of the season, we go to Auto Club next week. Pocono, Kansas, Vegas. First couple of 5 races on the horizon, and very unique racetracks as they are as well, Dean.
Oh, especially the tricky triangle and so forth, isn't it? And we're looking at, as you said, 100 laps, 150s for the slightly shorter tracks. So it's a lot, and drivers have time to do those pit stops, get those multiple pit stops if needed. Drivers also can get the overtakes done and make your way through the field. So we shall see, but that's our first wreck that we had. I haven't anything from race control just yet to confirm whether or not there's an end-of-line penalty for any of the drivers, and we know TJ is out there. Hopefully he's got the software working. But we have another Johnson in the lead of this race again. We always seem to have Johnsons in this time around. It's Ryan Johnson.
Hey, Ryan Johnson, still a long way to go here now as we got the lights off on the pace car, and we'll get ready now for stage number 2 to close in on what will be the final, let's see here, 12 laps, I believe it is. It'll be 11 laps to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone that is about to begin right about now. Hey, by the way, don't forget tomorrow night, Stay right here with us at Virtual World Center of Racing Daytona. It is the lid lifter debut of the NASRA Cup Series Daytona Duels tomorrow night. Make sure you be with us right here, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 Central on the NASRA 360 Racing Network at Virtual Daytona. And we're back to green, 11 to go here in Stage 2.
This is where the gloves will come off a little bit. You might start seeing the three abreast that we saw earlier at the end of Stage 1. But whether or not Ryan Johnson can try to hold off the field here at the moment, who's going to start thinking about making a move? Trevor Williams is 25 positions gained for the number 1. We haven't seen him too often this race, but hey, he's up here right now and he's thinking about a stage 2 break win.
Bobbing, weaving, looking inside, looking outside. McConey will do the same thing, and so will Colin Weatherholt, the Monticello, Indiana driver who won last night in the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series at COTA. Now peeks to the bottom, looks to the outside. Rhett Tucker, the dual winner, got a little antsy for a moment as they thunder through the tri-oval. Back to the line, 10 to go here in Stage 2.
And just like they got left for dry, isn't he? Out there, that's the number 1 of Trevor Williams because nobody picked him up. He had to go back actually and tuck in behind Ryan Johnson, the 38. So you've got to work together. Single file up here, the 38, and that's Ryan Johnson. He needs somebody to give him a push. Anybody else going to go third lane out there just yet? Not quite. So it's still a little bit early, as you said, about 10 to go. Going about 9 to go right now, but soon we're going to find out. Anybody out there in the chat, please give us some predictions. Who you going to think is going to win Stage 2 break?
Who you're riding with for sure. Still a long way to go, no doubt, as we continue to see these guys going at it again down into the corner. Here they come, almost 3 wide behind the top 2, door to door. Greg McConey now powers on the inside alongside Tucker, takes that spot. They're now side by side. Put Johnson and Weatherholt in the door-to-door battle, and up top side comes Tuckness to try to go 3 wide for the first time tonight in Daytona.
There he is at the moment. He's going to say hello to everybody with the onboard camera. As long as he gets a nice tow from behind, which he gets a push there, they go all getting a push 3 abreast. In fact, no, the middle lane's been left dry there. So nobody's behind the 38, finally coming up now, which will drop him back. Should allow Jonathan here, but I just don't see that you get close to the fence. It just doesn't have the exit speed, does it, that the inside line currently that Greg is holding on to does.
Here they come, working down to the line in here. Closing in,
we're
halfway. Oh, trouble.
There
Adam Newton, Tuckness, Cofield, into the wall. Other drivers involved includes the 27. Austin Evie on the binders to try to scamper through. Many other drivers somehow trying to clear a path. Dean Doucette in the wrong direction. Just after halfway, closing into the end of stage number 2, and it is calamity. Big trouble for Jonathan Tuckness and others. Suss in 94.
Yeah, we kind of caught most of it live.
Man.
You can see it up the road, isn't it? This is when they all start get loosey-goosey. Joshua Suss will get caught in. That's the 19, isn't it? Getting into
Adam Newton in the Adam Newton's in the 19. There you see Suss in the 94. Jonathan Cofield. There's Tuckness now spinning. Suss in the grass. Boy, just getting through was Cherry, the 27 involved. And again, just kind of a little aggressive coming down to the end of the stage. Look at the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves. He slams on the brakes to avoid getting caught up in this one. Here's another lane angle of right rear hook.
Yeah.
That was Cofield into Newton in right rear. And then the right front gets into the left rear of the 94 of Tuckness. Here's a look at it again.
Yeah, on the outside lane, they're starting to get loosey-goosey at that point. And then
bounces off of Tuckness
Yep.
into the right rear, and now Newton into the left rear, and now everybody else piles in from there. Big trouble.
And that's all that she wrote for some of the other drivers. Some of them will be lucky to get through around the outside down courses. They've all slowed down. Good to see they work cautiously to slow down. And nobody just put on the loud pedal and said, you know what, close my eyes and hold on straight and see if I can get through that gauntlet. But thankfully not. So will drivers elect to go down pit road right now because we only just boxed from lap 45 for most of the drivers, or lap 47. You're going to take advantage of this gas, but
it's too close. Anybody pitting. I don't see it happening. I really don't. Unless you're damaged. Cody Knott's on the pit road.
Put that bonnet back. I can't see. That's always a bit difficult. Could Cody not? Unfortunately, again, too, Cody not having a nice race like last night as well, too. One of the bosses here at Nazra. Yeah, that thing, you probably can't spot your pit lane box, can you? With that hood up in your windscreen.
Very true.
I'd never seen that before like that. You'd funny when you get your hand out the window trying to rip it off, but you can't.
There's Holden McGill,
Yeah.
and remember, Holden McGill had some technical issues in stage 1. How he's on pit road with damage. There you see Cofield's machine, so as well as Blanchard. There's Jacob Reeves coming down pit road. I don't know, Dean. Maybe some of these guys are kind of taking your advice and coming down into the pit lane here before the end of stage number 2. I mean, they do have less than 5 laps to go in the stage. I would think that they're going to try to restart this thing here.
Yeah, they should. They should for sure. I mean, we have enough laps to get it done. It'll take a couple laps under the caution flag, and it is lap 60, so I'd say yes, it's still go for it. The accident was occurred too early for the stage break to be concluded. I think now these drivers like Holden McGill and Jacob and all that you saw come in, they would be thinking about having those fresher tyres and gas for the actual race, going for the race win. I think they've sacrificed taking a chance of getting a stage break. To me, that's what it is, because they're going to come back out. Jacob's going to come back out probably. Lucas Lyons, actually, he was the first one to box back on the pit lane on lap 54 that we just had. And then you've got behind them Jacob, Jeffrey Johnson stayed out, Jason, Chris Blanchard, so forth. So they're, to me, that's too far back unless there's a wreck to get the stage 2 break win. I think they're thinking about the overall race win. That's my 2 bobs, 2 shillings
Greg
worth.
McConey now being showed as the new leader in that number 12 machine. Obviously, we mentioned that, usually has the yellow and the gold and the black and white on the, or the gold or yellow, black and white car. It is the pink car, and obviously, it is October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm sure that we'll see a lot of drivers donning pink on their race cars for, to help spread awareness.
Why did Chris
right now,
let's give you
let's give you the run of the top 10 right now. Greg McConey is the leader. Ryan Johnson second. Colin Weatherholt third. Up 11 spots, by the way, both of McConey and Weatherholt. Rhett Tucker fourth, and Peyton Johnson, the Season 1 champion, right now in the top 5. Matt Cherry is 6th. Randy McCanny is in 7th spot. Bo Tiffany is 8th, up 21 spots. 9th is Tristan Bruce. Bernard Person, the pole car, is now back in the top 10. And up 26 positions, highest climber in the top 10 is Matt Cherry. And remember, he was the guy a part of that caution a moment ago, and now he is, a moment ago, got into it with, who was that car? Adam Newton, I want to say it might have been. Nonetheless, those drivers get ready for a restart now, as we are going to try to refinish stage 2.
And you won't be messing about either of these drivers. They're going to be getting on that lap pedal as quickly as possible and try to get the stage win. Because if you're so close at the front here, these drivers, getting that stage win is going to be crucial for them. And then, of course, that stage win, they're going to have to come down a pit road for a caution. Those other drivers, like Bernard Person and so forth, Lucas Lyons, sorry, not Bernard Person, Lucas Lyons and Jason and Jacob and so forth, they're going to stay out and get track position. That's what I'm assuming anyway.
So the field will make their way back to the Geico restart zone. And we'll get ready to bring them for restart. Don't forget, tomorrow night, NASRA Cup Series duels from Daytona. We'll have it for you as the field comes to the line. Green flag back out. It is 4 laps to go here in Glass Mechanics Stage 2, and a new machine up in front. Greg McConey, but now Ryan Johnson right back in the battle, and here comes now Weatherholt to the inside as they work into turn 2, Dino.
What a launch from Weatherholt. He's got it timed perfectly, and he has the inside track position, so that's brilliant. Now he's getting a nice tow from behind. He's going to bring it to Greg at the moment. Greg's still holding on, getting a nice tow from Ryan Johnson, and Randy a little bit further back on this one. Here we go. Don't look away from your screens there, Wesley.
That's right. Don't look away. Watching all this action going on. It's go time here as we continue to see them
Oh,
battle.
caution.
Well, we got another yellow flag. We got him up in the fence in turn number 4. Trouble. It looks like Cofield's involved. White and Blanchard is crashed again.
No.
Caution out.
Is this going to be the stage break, but I think
This should be the end of the stage as well. They can't finish. They can't finish or get back to green before the end of stage number 2. So this will be stage 2 here, presented by Glass Mechanic and Colin Weatherholt, the Indiana driver, winner last night for NASRA DSR Electric Trucks at COTA in the playoffs, is now going to win stage 2 here in Daytona for the Xfinity Series.
What a run last minute. Unfortunately, didn't get enough time to see if himself and Greg would go for it too for now. That was just close, wasn't it? It was very, very neck and neck. And because that caution was called, it probably caused them off guard, but you've got to be at the right place at the right time. Peyton Johnson, wasn't it? And Chris Blanchard and so forth. Let's have a look at this wreck. Oh, Chris Blanchard, like he's got a good towing recovery service to pick that car up.
Yeah, look at this. That's Justin White up on the outside. There's the 16 in the middle. Look at this. Oh, man. Contact. Bonsai side draft off the 16 to do sets machine.
Do you think it was, or I thought it was maybe Justin White?
Yeah, let's watch it again. The 16 car.
Oh, yeah, they're going loosey-goosey into each other. And then bingo into the fence. And poor Blanchard, I think he just had to get his car fixed before too. Here they are coming down to pit road as expected. And Jacob and everybody else is coming down. They are coming down. No, is coming down. Horrible English. So, there was no real advantage to them of taking that. Oh, somebody's missed their pit box again. There was no real advantage of them coming down earlier then. And if they put some gas or they change some tires, then unless they can get out ahead here. Lucas Lyons does get out ahead. No, they stayed out. My apologies. There, Lucas Lyons stayed out. So a few of them have stayed out. Oh, I'm getting all over the place here, Wesley. Sorry. Trying to click on these cameras at the same time. Find out what's going in pit road. So there you have it. So the drivers that did box back on lap 58.
Lucas Lyons.
There it is.
Lucas Lyons, if you can show his car, the 18.
But they did pit,
and
sorry.
Yes, see him.
Did.
And now Lyons does come down the pit road. And show his car on pit road. I want to say he was one of the guys that got caught up in that accident. Let's see it.
Who, sorry?
The 18, Lyons.
I'm showing him at the moment. Do you want to look at him entering the pit road, do you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I want to see if he's got any damage on that car, is what I'm saying. I think he was the guy that's a part of the accident, is what I'm saying. Let's watch it again here. There's a look at it. Maybe he is okay, actually. Never mind.
Side scrape on that one.
So anyhow, that incident happening to Blanchard again. Blanchard's towing machine, Chris Blanchard, Justin White, and all those drivers. Actually, it was Peyton Johnson, the 15 car, the Season 1 champion. They got caught up in it. Let's look at the replay of the accident. 4th Serve Pro caution of the wreck. Now that we finally got an idea of who they were that were involved in it. As we are closing in, and we are officially at the end of stage number 2, by the way. Here's a look at the replay again. It looked like a 16, but it is a 15. And there's the man, the Season 1 champion, 3 wide in the middle. Bonsai off a White, bonsai into the 9 of Blanchard. That's just a side draft gone wrong, as you see Blanchard's car getting airborne. Wow. From another angle of it.
Yeah, that's where he gets turned. Chris Blanchard doesn't know what's going on at the moment. All of a sudden, he's there, and the next minute, he's up on his lid, facing in the opposite direction.
Let's go on board with the 9 of Blanchard and see what it's like. Well, you just saw that a moment ago. Let's see what it's like with the 15. The 15 of Peyton Johnson. What did he see? The defending series Season 1 champion. We'll show you from inside in the middle. Look at this. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you, and that will end stage 2 here at the virtual World Center of Racing. We'll take a break. Strap in. Thank you. I'm here all night. Stage 3 is next when we come back from Daytona.
Starbase 1552 Comics. We sell everything a collector would want. Comics, Funkos, action figures, and so many more. A real American comic book shop. We are online only. Starbase 1552 Comics. Find us on eBay Auctions.
We're back here at Daytona. The green flag just fell in for stage number 3. The run to the finish is on with under 40 to go now as they work their way back to the corner off turn 4 to the line. It is 39 to go now. And now a new leader up in front, Tristan Bruce in the 3. He's the new Pied Piper. Lyons in second. Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer, up to third as Nelson's on the inside. And the pole driver, Person, back in the top 5 in the 2, Dean.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. This is the race to the very end of it with 39 laps to go. Elbows are starting to come out. Different pit stop strategies that we had too. Only 1 lap difference between these drivers until we got some new names at the top of the time sheets.
By the way, we're understanding that the damage model DVP, damage vehicle policy for Blanchard, was the reasons why we kept seeing the 9 come onto the pit lane and exit back onto the pit lane, is to try to finish the damage, fix the damage on that number 9. As right now, Nelson is the new leader, Person in second. Lap traffic up ahead as well as these leaders thunder back into turn number 1. Oh boy, that's the 94 up on the high side of Tuckness. Clear a path, he got through him.
And coming thick and fast at the moment there, Wesley. I think there's even a lap car up the road as well. So Mark Nelson leading.
Here's a new driver we've never really talked about before. That's, by the way, Joshua Suss on the high side. Tuckness and Suss both now laps down after being up in the front before they got caught up in the accident earlier in the race on caution number 3 of the night. 4 cautions so far as we're in stage 3. Look at this now. Side by side for the lead. Nelson on the bottom. Bruce on the outside. Person and Lyons door to door as they go into 1.
Ooh, who's up at the fence on the outside there? That looks like the 17 of Jason. Really gambling it up there. The fence is starting to suck him in a little bit there. So luckily he managed to keep it. Mark A. Nelson is still leading this one just by Tristan Bruce. So they're side by side, Jacob Wesley. Why am I getting mixed up, Jacob racing.
Good racing going on. The redneck announcer obviously on Friday night for the Cup Series as the race goes on. Again, another lap on the board. Inside, it is Bruce now up on the outside to come to the lead. The Denver, North Carolina driver. Just outside of Charlotte, where NASCAR will be for the Roval, Bank of America Roval 400 this Sunday. I'll be there in Charlotte. Bruce on the outside. Here comes now Nelson to the bottom. Here comes Reeves. Lyons, they're door to door. Look at now. McCandy going to hook up with Tucker. Remember, Tucker had problems. He's now right back into the dogfight as they work their way to the back straightaway. Cootzilla's now off of the safer barrier. He's tucked in line with them door to door as they go back into 3.
This is why early in the race, if you do get in trouble, you go back to the old Winston Churchill. Never give up and we never surrender. And you continue to fight your way back through it because you can end up with a race win. You never know. These drag gladiators at front, Mark Nelson and Tristan Bruce, my friend, started 22nd places back and 29 places back. And Lucas Lyons, 27 back. So it's all falling into place, the right time for him here at the moment.
We'll find him in the lands. We'll find him in the deserts. We'll find him in the plains, in the water, the ocean.
Find him at Daytona.
Yes, sir. We'll find him out in Daytona. Pardon the pun. He's exactly right. As that machine, it's the Quaker Oats, man. No, it's not. It's the Patriot L machine Chevrolet. That's the Tristan Bruce car. Up on the outside. Nelson to the bottom. Person, Lyons right there. Cootzilla's up top. He's got Pappas now. And look at now, Jacob Reeves is almost Bruce sideways as they work off turn 4. Held the car to the bottom. Nelson stays to the lead as they work into the They work to the line going back to turn 1, I meant to say.
Yeah,
Boy, it's getting crazy right now.
I know, I'm starting to fibble at my words. It's blah, 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 blah. We get a little loosey-goosey on our tongues a little bit and so to get better. What's happening is that high line, to me, doesn't seem to be working. Every time somebody's been going up here this evening, Wesley, they just haven't found that momentum to do anything with it. Seems to be the middle column at the moment and the inside line are the places to be.
Another lap on the racetrack. Working to the corner, this time by lap number 67 when they come to the line here now. Closing in on the third and final stage of this race. 33 laps to go. And they go back into the corner into 1 and 2, side by side. It is Nelson in the lead. Lyons up to second, Person third, Jacob Reeves. Remember, he got his first ever NASCAR win a couple of weeks ago on a Friday night in Atlanta in the Cup Series. And now he moves himself up to third spot. Here comes everybody thundering down the super stretch, trying to run down the 18 Alliance as they work into 3. Reeves is up to second. Nelson on the bottom as they go to the lead again in 3 and 4.
I was trying to see Jacob. I was like, Jacob's changed his... No, there's the door banging downline livery. It was just quite hard to see from that angle there for the 57. You can't miss that. I'm telling you what, Wesley, I don't think they have enough gas to go to the end. You know, they only got 50% tanks. So they tanked it up before, back lap 58. They can't. It's going to be, once again, seeing which group are going to go down pit road ahead and after. Undercut or overcut to see if it's going to pan out.
I got a feeling lap 75, 80, we're going to see the money stop for the pit stops unless we get a caution again. 75 or 80, we're going to see these guys come down to the pit lane. Already working lap number 68 of 100. Down the back straightaway, we're in stage 3. Look at Lyons as he's under pressure by Reeves on the top. Nelson trying to get around the machine, and he threw the block on the bottom. And they're all right there ready to pounce on him like a coiled Cobra 4.
Here comes Jacob. This is the problem, isn't it? It's like he's like flowing first class or something like that. It's like he's had a taste of a race win. Now he's foaming at the mouth for more. He wants the bubbly stuff. He knows that, hey, is this what it's like to win a race? Well, why don't I do this every week? Here he comes, the Rednecks. First time in the lead of this race. 27 positions gained. These top 4 are the biggest gainers at the moment in this Daytona race there, Wesley.
27 spots for Jacob Reeves as he goes to the lead on the outside lane. Chevrolet out of Rome, Georgia. The redneck announcer up to the top spot as they go into turn number 3.
And he's probably pumped from Talladega, isn't he? So he's right in the racing spirit. So let's see, it's going to pan out.
Went to Talladega.
Cody Knott's back up there too. Good on Cody after having those problems, isn't it, from yesterday as well too. Was involved in a wreck and nothing keep. You can see that little dinged up number 3 machine up the road too. That's Tristan Bruce. You can see on that left-hand side. I can't even read that properly there.
Yeah, you mentioned Jacob Reeves, the redneck announcer. He was at Talladega for the Yellowwood 500. And obviously, you know, now we see Lucas Lyons on the inside battling for the lead as Reeves will try to thunder back up top. That's, by the way, the top 4 cars. Dean just mentioned it a moment ago. Highest climbers of the race. Listen to this. 3 drivers up 27 spots, now 28 spots for Lucas Lyons. Jacob Reeves up 27 spots in the race in the lead. Lucas Lyons up 28 spots. Tristan Bruce up 28 spots. Look at them now, working their way. Lyons, Reeves, Nelson, Bruce, all 20-plus spots, and they're fighting for the win. As also, don't count out Bernard Person. He is the pole man. He won by qualifying last week. The Screaming Eagle number 8 is right there in the battle off the back straightaway.
It will be a contender for sure with these drivers. Now, the reason why these drivers are in these positions is because of that pit stop strategy before that caution, and which ended up being a stage break. They boxed that, they went down the pit lane that 1 lap earlier, just that 1 lap earlier, and that's given all those drivers from P1 to P7 that 1 lap advantage than the rest of the field further down that went back in lap 59. So that's going to be the interesting one this evening. And those drivers that went back to lap 59, Ryan Johnson, where's he? Greg McConey, 16th and 17th at the moment there. That's how much that pit stop cost them there, Wesley.
and they work their way back to the back stretch now. The super stretch here at Daytona. It is Reeves up on the outside, and we're starting to notice that third lane, or the outside lane, now, Dino, is starting to get faster than on the bottom. Usually the old cliche is committed to catfish on the inside. That's not now the cliche happening here. That's not happening as we move down to the end of this race. Closing in on 25 to go here. And now they're door to door again. Reeves and Lyons for the lead, side by side. Reeves back up in front into one.
Yeah, here we go. These drivers have got to work together too. And they're going to be deciding whether or not they're going to go down a pit road again, like they did before. Are they on the radio? Are they communicating like that? I've never heard that phrase, by the way, you said. What is it again, Wesley? On the inside? The apron? Catfish?
Yes, usually whenever drivers are on the bottom of the racetrack, they're catfishing, and when they're on the top, it's called banging the boards. Look at the outside lane. Look at this now, or ripping the lip, as they also say as well. On the top, look at Lyons on the bottom. Reeves, and they got lap traffic up on the outside that they got to clear by, and they did perfectly. Closing in with under 25 to go. Next time by in Daytona.
How scary was that too? It was like passing Grandma on the freeway. She's doing like 60 or something like that. These drivers are doing in excess of, let's have a look at the moment on the dashboard, 184 miles an hour. So about 100 miles an hour faster than you see that car in the slow lane. Get out of the way. They were screaming, no doubt, as we're seeing three abreast further back, and with Cody Knott and the rest of the usual suspects, Dean Doucette and so forth.
This is the Blanchard Towing and Repair Xfinity Series. Tonight is the 250. This is race number 1 as Cody Knott falls back again. Cody Knott back out of the top 10. He's in the top 15, losing ground as we got guys coming down pit road. I told you, here they come. Yeah. I told you they're coming to pit road. Whoa, hold on there. Cody Knott on the binders, and so is Carl Burke.
And Jonathan. So there they are. They're the ones that are going to jump first to see.
Yeah, that's actually, my apologies. I think I said Dustin Castell.
Cody. Practice your pit stops, my friend.
Trent Robinette was what I was referring to, as now everybody is on. Here we go. Now, when do you pull out a line? That's the question. We know they got a pit. Remember what I told you? Somewhere between 75 and 80. I think we're going to start seeing green flag pit stops.
I think
25
right.
left to go as they come to the line. Jacob Reeves now the leader.
Wesley
24 to go.
Who's on the inside apron there? Yeah, but this thing is, you've got to make that decision. Jacob's the one that essentially has to make that decision first, and everybody can either follow him in this little group there or leave him all alone. That's going to be interesting. So either way, it could be painful here if I don't work with Jacob.
So here's the thing, Dean. If you are with Jacob and you're a teammate with Jacob, you're going to try to hook up with your teammate and come down pit road. But if you're not, you're going to try to – do you go with the leader? It's kind of monkey see, monkey do. If the leader pulls off, do you follow him? That's the question, because Jacob Reeves is now the Pied Piper up in front. Remember, he's got Lyons right behind him. And that door banging download number 57. On the bottom.
Yeah, I think we just drag him in and ask him. His motorists are going to do that in green flag conditions. Not that we can drag him in anyway.
Plug these guys while they're racing.
No.
Reeves on the inside, Bruce on the top. Look at Lyons, look at Tucker. Tucker got a loose there for a moment on the back end of the number 3. Bruce now up on the outside lane. Here we go, side by side. Bruce now going to carry the momentum to the lead. Remember, Reeves was so strong, Dean, on the outside. Now Bruce is showing his strengths in the 3, and we're door to door. The top 3 rows are right there. Throw a blanket over them off 4.
Wesley, they're trying it at the moment. They're going, how is it up there? Is it comfortable? Let me give a shot there. Let's get the blanket out there and the picnic, and let's set up there for a nice little picnic lunch on a Tuesday evening here for the Blanchard's Xfinity Series. We got Octavian out there in the chat. So go 86! The 86 is Mark A. Nelson running in P6 at the moment. Still one of those big gainers in this gaggle of cars leading this race.
We're at the virtual Daytona International Speedway. And
Three
this
wide.
one is coming down to the end, 3 wide for the lead. That's going to be Bruce now, slung like a rag doll. He lost spots from the penthouse to the outhouse, and he's free falling. Look at how important the draft is, and he's lost even the outside partner off of 4.
That's what happens when you get left high and dry out here in the circuit. Nobody's risking it up there once again. And then you just lose so many places down to P9 currently in a moment. That's how easy it is. But we have a battle up the road, but two cars, look. So somebody's going to have to elect to tuck in here because we've got these cars coming up behind and they've all gone single file at the moment.
Yes,
I'm thinking pit stops coming. Pit stops, what do you think?
I told you. I told you it's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen between 75 and lap 80. You're going to see it here now. Maybe to lap 83 if we're lucky. That's pushing it. That's pushing it. Some might be able to do that. But any moment now, we're going to watch these guys coming down pit road. It's going to happen. Just a matter of when.
There they come. Yeah, you called it there, Wesley.
I knew it. I told you.
Wise old Wesley. Nothing gets past him. Wise old man. Of course, happy birthday once
here
again
comes
from last
the money
week.
stop.
Yeah.
Here comes the money stop. It's now Rhett Tucker, McGill, Johnson, McConey, Ryan Johnson, Weatherhold, Bo Tiffany stay out. Everybody else came down pit road. Look at them all right there. Teammates or not, this is the money stop of the race with 20 to go.
Yep. Let's have a look at the rest of the field. So these guys got to come out there together and put in banker after banker after banker laps. Will Lucas Lyons lead him out? Yes, he will. So I think he will continue with that one. But what about that? Jacob just gets that P2. And then there's Mark Nelson. So Mark out there. So you'll be happy for the 86. Manages to jump a couple of cars in the pit road.
Exactly
but here
right.
comes the rest of the field.
Here comes the other guys. Here comes the other ones. Remember, Tucker, McGill, Johnson, McConey, Johnson with their whole Tiffany. They had no other choice but to pit after everyone else come to the pit lane a moment ago. And now they're going to get back in sequence, and they're going to be literally right neck and neck with these front runners when they come down pit road here. The problem is the drivers that just pitted a moment ago with under 20 to go are at full song, Dean. These guys exiting off pit road, they're going to have a lap to get up to speed. They got to stay below the blend line before they hit the back straightaway, and then they're going to get bypassed. But they're going to be on the lead lap. They're going to be on the lead lap.
Yep.
But they're going to have to fight in the pack to get back in this race.
There is Rhett Tucker that's come out of pit road. They're still on the inside apron. There is this pack coming thick and fast, led by Lucas.
And you're going to watch them there. There are those cars I told you coming off the blend line. Now they can get up to speed.
One.
But look at this. They're so slow.
Two.
Yes, sir. That's how fast the lead car is. Rhett Tucker exited. He's still the leader, but it ain't going to last for long. He's got to get in line. He's got to find a drafting partner and make this work, the dual winner.
It takes two to tango. It takes a lot more to win the race. And here, look at speed.
Look at this.
Now,
look at this. Look at
he
the
can get
outside. Oh, baby. Johnson contact. Johnson in the grass. Johnson and Johnson. And I don't mean the baby shampoo. They hold it together in the corner, and we still stay green with 18 to go. Oh, that could have been disastrous.
Yep, Lucas Lyons and Jacob now in the lead of this race as they were before. So that pit stop by boxing one lap earlier has made the difference. They managed to hold on to this race lead. Now they can go to the end, not have to worry about any more pit stops, pending no more cautions, and see if they can bag a nice race win at Daytona.
Into the tri-oval, somehow Johnson and Johnson holding it together. Johnson the second, and the other driver keeping it in tow. Look at Justin White now. Look at this driver falling back as the leaders work into the corner. It is Lyons, it is Reeves fighting it out at Daytona. Person for Screaming Eagles right back into the battle again for third, and they're all right now single file with 17 to go in the corner.
The Shields, the Eagles, as you're mentioning out there, you better not look away. I'm sure everybody's going to be enjoying themselves for the first race at the moment of this new season for the Xfinity Series. There's a lot of lap trucks at the moment, cars that they're getting around, but that shouldn't be a problem. They've been getting out of the way. It's more about who's going to work together. Jacob and Lucas Lyons have been working together. Bernard Person, Tristan Bruce, and Nelson, Rhett Tucker. Weather Holt, we all know Weather Holt, when he gets up an extra shift, he's called Weather Bolt because he can bolt his way. He's already had a stage win before.
Yes, sir.
Let's see.
When do you find your line? That's the question. When do you patiently, methodically work around here and find that opportunity to put yourself in the place to win? We know everybody's pitted. We do know that there is a chance at overtime at Daytona. We know what type of racing this place provides. However, with the exception of this big pack stacked with each other, single file now,
and we
Lions
also
in the lead.
Yeah, and we also know that high line hasn't been working, the one up near the fence. So
that's right.
If any drivers are going to start doing that one, you're going to have to start doing that probably about almost 8 or so laps before to start getting them.
You're referring to the 3 wide, I believe,
yes,
is what
sir.
you're talking about. They can't get up there and battle 3 wide. It just won't work yet.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody's got to start working on it very soon, because you can't leave it $1 short on that one, because we see it just falls off. And you'll fall off a cliff drastically too if you do gamble up there. So far, Holden McGill back after a little bit of a blinking issue. His internet's holding on, thankfully, and he's now battling it out with his drivers. Bernard Persson, but the rest of the field, of course, will start to work their way up here. Still led by Lucas Lyons, Jacob Reeves.
Stay in patience, if you will, right now, side by side, 15 to go. We'll go side by side to thank our sponsor. Don't forget, tomorrow night, it is the Premier Setup Shops NASCAR Cup Series. Here's a word from them as they'll be in action again. Our Premier Racing Setups. Premier Racing Setups is our premier partner of setups for NASCAR and all of our NASCAR companies. And right now, this one is getting good in the neighborhood, and I don't mean at your local Applebee's. It's right here here at Daytona, the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Dean Hopton, our man that normally is the man with the plan, running the buttons and producing. He's doing that, and he's also joining me on color commentary. Wesley Outland here with you for another year, another season. Back straightaway. Look at McGill now, and Trevor Williams in trouble in the 1 car. As we watch a replay, he decides to do a little off-road racing into the grass, in the turf, in the World Center of Racing.
Yeah, he was like, I want to be over here in front of the Daytona printed grass and do some burnouts. But unfortunately, my friend, you're going to be up there to win that. Well, but luckily, it didn't cause a caution. He's out of everybody's way there. So Trevor Williams, who's one of the first, I think he actually got under the grass to be lapped, because he's running 22nd, and he's the last of those cars to be lapped at the moment. Cody Knowlton will be next up on the hit list with these guys. But there's nobody down the back stretch. Nothing but clear bitumen.
Held on to that spot as they work their way to the back straightaway. 13 laps to go here at the virtual World Center of Racing. It is coming down to this, the winner. Remember, as we mentioned, you get this race done, you win this race, you're going to the playoffs. You're automatically into the postseason for the year. I mean, that's something to brag about here, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, that's perfect, isn't it? And then the rest of the season, you can kind of, well, you don't have to lift off the gasoline for the rest of the season, but you know that you're there. So, and we've seen drivers do that before. Certainly Holden McGill's very capable of race wins, isn't he? So, and he's in the right place to strike. And here he's up so he's gambling up there. Will he get a push from anybody? Yes, he will. There's the 38 of Brian Johnson. And now they're starting to make momentum. Who got left for Lucas? Lucas is left all alone in the middle. Nobody's backing him up.
That's Lyons. Actually, buddy. Lyons is free falling. Just like that, Lyons losing ground with the front pack. From the penthouse to the outhouse, as I always say. He had all the momentum, but now he is in the back as they work their way back down to the corner. Take it to the finish of this one. It is 11 to go. 10 laps remaining here at the World Center of Racing next time by.
That's interesting. Well, we see Caulfield and Newton go into pit road, so maybe
I'll tell you this, Dean. If you got a friend, you better find them now. You better hook up with your teammate. And if you ain't got a friend, you better find a way to get an ally quickly, because that's exactly what it's going to take to win this race. Jacob Reeves knows it. He's on the inside. The redneck announcer on the bottom. He's got the push from the Screaming Eagle, number 8 person. And up on the top, here comes Holden McGill. Remember the problems that the South Carolinian had in the 22. The Rock Hill Virtual Bad Boy is now looking for the win of the Kubota 21. 10 to go at Daytona. This is it.
Yeah, but you want a bumper sticker that says, "Want to be my friend?" Question mark of a smiley face or something. If you need one, you're going to need one right now. Jacob is getting a nice push there. There's the number 8 behind him. That's Bernard Person. Holden McGill, keep an eye out for him on the outside lane. That's the one closest to the wall. He's getting pushed from Ryan Johnson. These are the key makers, the playmakers behind the scenes that are helping these guys, perhaps any of them, gladiators, brave souls, to get this one. 86, the middle field's open up now, Jacob. I mean, Wesley. Why do I keep calling you Jacob?
Trying to hold on to that spot as they work their way down into the corner again. It is now go time. Anybody got anything for these guys? You better show it now.
The Highline still not quite getting enough momentum, is it? Keep an eye on this one with the aerial coverage. You see the 38 there. Get sucked into that fence too a little bit. That's Ryan Johnson, but you just can't get the momentum out of the corner, can it? Oh, and it gets completely cut off there. Now that gets a push here, but you wait till you start entering in the corner, and that's where the inside lane starts to get more of that entry and exit speed. Do you see that?
Another lap on the board. Here we go. 3 wide. Lions in the middle. He bounces off the apron. Jacob Reeves, as now Nelson goes to the lead. Correction. Holden McGill's got Peyton Johnson up top. Ryan Johnson. He'll give him a push. Here comes McGill. The double deuce. Now the 21 Kubota into the lead here in Daytona with 8 to go.
And Mark Nelson is in a good striking position. Whoa! The inside lane's working. They are
go 3 wide.
Time.
And just somehow they held it together 3 by 3. And now it's Reeves battling back on the bottom to go to the lead on Nelson as they work it at turn number 3.
Hug the inside.
Wow.
Hug the inside. I think that's going to be a key here. Everybody else has got to get a big push and a big shove or something like that on the outside to make that work. But you've got to hold that inside line at the moment. That seems to be the striking place, and all Jacob could do is hold that and try to prevent anybody from getting in front, Wes.
And right now, 3 wide. Lions bouncing off inside and outside of cars like a rag doll. So is Nelson. So is Tucker. And they're stuck in that dirty draft air trying to find a way to find daylight. Who found daylight? Jacob Reeves has. Reeves on the inside. He's the new leader. But now McGill will battle back on the outside. 3 wide as here comes Nelson up the middle.
Here it comes. Somebody wants to grab it. That's a nice push for the 86, but then it's going to scrub off a little bit of speed here. There you want your door banging for the door banging download right now. Jacob, you've got a bit of it. Push comes to shove. All you have to do is hold on a little bit longer. Hold Nelson away. Lucas Lyons and Bernard, and you can take this race win. He's still holding on the inside apron. I think that is going to be the key to success here at the moment there, Wesley. Oh, he's got turned.
Oh, Reeves got turned. Reeves into Nelson. Nelson into Tucker. Going around goes also McGill. Coming up on the top to the lead. Lions is the car that got spun. Caution is out. Holden McGill comes out with the lead. He's smelling like a red rose. Caution out with now 6 to go. Look at this. Oh no.
Yeah. There, right there, isn't it? Just comes in. Did he get tagged to the other side to force that?
Here's a replay. There's Person on the inside. Tristan Bruce to the bottom of the apron. So was Colin Weatherbolt. Look at this. And another look at it. I think Nelson got hit by Tucker. Nelson then hit the right rear of Reeves. It really wasn't anything intentional by Nelson. Red Tucker would probably be the guy that they'd call the caution for because he started it. And honestly, I don't even know if you want to say he's at fault. You're racing at the end of this one, Dean. Yeah. You're doing everything you can do to win this show. Another look at it again. Oh, Jacob Reeves, man.
Oh, yeah, you know Jacob not going to be a happy camper, that's for sure. And that's a race win. Just like that, slips through your fingers. It's just racing it at its finest, isn't it? At this level of competition. And did he manage to still keep it straight there? But either way, he's going to scrub a ton of places off there.
He's got damage. Yeah. I don't know how much damage is on the 57 out of Rome, Georgia, but he's got damage. The door banging download, DSR electric number 57. And now the pole man for Screaming Eagle back up in the top spot again. The Pied Piper, Bernard Person. We're getting ready for a restart. Can we go for a restart before the end of the scheduled distance? We're back from Daytona in a moment. Stay with us.
Are you ready?
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
Drivers are pitting. You see Holden McGill, he broke away as the leader, but then he came down to the pit lane, so he forfeits the lead back to Person. Red Tucker is on pit road. There you see, of course, McGill, Cherry, Knott, Johnson, McConey, Evie, just some of the names that are right now on pit road. Dean Hopton, I'm Wesley Outland, and this one is not over yet here at the Virtual World Center of Racing. Dean, what a show tonight.
Yep, and make sure you got to hit that follow Wesley Outland, of course, to keep up with your fantastic commentary work that you do all over football and baseball, basketball, and everything else that you also do in real life.
Yes, sir.
What's interesting is that we were kind of talking just in the green room during the commercial break about something. Said, why are the drivers coming out of the pit road? You said, because they're going to get some full, fresh tyres on, which is a great idea. But are they going to have enough time to slice and dice their way through this? At least 20 or so cars up the road, mate.
I think they can. I really do, because you got a lot of drivers that are either a lap down or more, damaged in the back, so they're going to go to the tail end of the lead lap. And obviously, you're going to see Holden McGill restart 20th. Now, here's the thing you got to think about. We saw how good tires with new tires compared to old tires are on cars on several occasions, Dean, tonight. And I really believe when you stack them up 2 by 2, you cut half the distance off of the, running the cars down.
True. But they're still
Holden
in pit road.
McGill, yeah.
I think they're doing repairs or something. Now, finally, Lucas Lyons
I
comes
don't
out.
think Holden McGill got any damage, man. He wasn't caught in the accident.
There it is.
Lucas Lyons was. Lyons was caught up in it.
That
So
was a
he got
long
damage.
pit stop there, Wes. That was they're about in for about a minute and a half. Although they will get out ahead of the pace car, so they won't go a lap down, as you said.
We'll see. But right now, it looks like Holden McGill is going to be 21st. Okay, so 20th. Let's see here. Some of the names I'm thinking of. Red Tucker will be 19th. Lucas Lyons in 20th. He got caught up in the accident a moment ago. Obviously, Holden McGill pitted. He's in 21st. Trevor Williams, first car, a lap down or multiple laps down, because nobody is at least 1 lap down. They're 2 laps down, Trevor Williams. So we have 21 cars on the lead lap when we come back to the restart zone, and it looks like they are still, Dean, trying to finish this race in the regular scheduled distance. What I mean by saying is when they come to the line, it will be lap number 98 of 100. They are still in the regular scheduled distance, meaning that there is still 3 attempts at overtime hanging in the balance if need be, if they wreck again.
Yes, and safety cars, cautions breed precaution. Safety cars breed cautions as well. Same thing. Not to mention, Jacob is still in here. There he is. So he didn't go down and get anything repaired in the 57 machine. That is. So he's still got a bit of a shot. There's Mark Nelson. They were involved in that incident earlier as well too. They're still up here running in crucial positions to get it done. So it certainly ain't over yet. And there's Weatherbolt. He's still up for a shot.
Remember, there will be 3 attempts at overtime. We have not reached overtime yet. This is still the regular scheduled distance. Yes, it is a green-white checker, But it is not overtime as we wrap up our 5th caution. Who's going to win? The Blanchard's towing. 250. We'll find out in 5 miles or even more if we go to OT. Green flag back in the air. Person the pole car to the inside as they climb the banking. Into turn number 1. Here comes Weatherholt looking for a shot on Johnson for second.
Oh, big push. Go ahead, Wesley. Sorry.
Up high. Weatherholt up on the outside. Here comes Johnson. Here comes now also Bo Tiffany in the mix. Nelson back to the bottom. And look at how fast we're watching McGill fly through the field.
Wow, they're just driving completely around the inside line there. Like it's nothing. Like they're just in a wrong shifting gear or something like that. Weatherbolt's way out in front there, getting a good push from Brian Johnson. I think those two at the moment are going to dictate with a couple laps to go there, Wesley. Who wants to win this race?
Yeah, they're coming to the white flag unless we get a caution beforehand. Here they come to the line. White flag is waving. 1 more lap to go. Race is official. Lap 99 on the board. They got 99 problems in life, but the final lap ain't one. Colin Weatherholt in the top spot. Johnson in second. Person third. This is it in Daytona. Final time, Dino, to the back straightaway.
Should be enough. Should be enough. If anybody going to get a good run down the middle, I'm not quite sure it will be. They're going to be giving it everything they possibly can, but the inside line should be held by Colin Weatherholt. And there it is, my friend. Couple more corners to go.
Into 3. Weatherholt protecting the inside. One of the dominators of the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series now. Welcome to the world of the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity world. Here he comes to the line. Stays to the inside as we got cars spinning behind them. Checkered flag. It is going to be Colin Weatherholt. Weatherbolt wins the Blanchard's Towing 250 at Daytona as Randy McCanny went around. McCanny spun in the grass. This race is over. Colin Weatherholt wins here in Daytona.
Gets the job done. Believe it or not, Bo Tiffany comes in that 2nd place. Just stuck it a nose ahead there of Ryan Johnson. Bernard Person, Tyler Goodwin will wrap up the top 5. Trish and Bruce will get that P6 of Mark Nelson, Dean Doucette, Jeffrey Johnson from the other Johnsons. Phil Pappas and Jay will round up the top 10, my friend. So how's that one, Colin? You wouldn't have thought it, would you, of give or take about 10 laps ago, that that man was going to be winning the race. Goes to show you how you get it done.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we could go back and watch that last replay, you can see it now. And look at Colin Weatherholt. The celebration on for the driver out of Monticello, Indiana. Boy, it seems like we chat with him a lot. I chatted with him last night, winning in the Xfinity Series, winning in the Blanchard's in the DSR Electric Truck Series, and now tonight in the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series for Highline Racing. I know Jason Morales has got to be tickled to death. Here comes the man from the Hoosier State, another win. And by the way, listen to this, Dean. He's locked into the playoffs already. Weatherholt, Weatherbolt, whatever you want to call him, he has worked his way to victory lane, and he gets his first career Xfinity Series win. Look at the dominate. Can we see the last lap? Watch the last restart one more time, everybody. Let in, enjoy it. By the way, time of the race, almost an hour and 40 minutes with the checkered flag fail. Here's a look at this last restart. And Dean, a lot of conversation here, and a lot of people are saying, man, the 38 of Johnson, he didn't go. He didn't push out of line. I don't think he could. I think we didn't realize how damn good Weatherholt's car was.
Yeah, I didn't realize that as well, too, with all that action happening, as you can see. Just maintaining it. That was the crucial part, wasn't it? Just keeping that. You could see that. That's quite a bit from this angle, as you can see, onto the side view.
And Bo Tiffany hung up on the outside lane. He couldn't go nowhere, even though he had Tyler Goodwin. Phil Pappas tried to get something going up on the top shelf for 3 wide. That went away. Look at Pappas free falling. And here they come off of turn 4, down to the line. This is the white flag lap. 1 lap to go, and look at Johnson. Johnson just says, no, I'm not going to wreck him. I'm not going to take him out. Nelson got spun. Nelson went to the bottom of the apron. They race on to the finish. And there's Weatherholt picking up the win when it's all said and done. Nelson and the 6 car of Randy McCanny went around at the start-finish line when it was all said and done. Man, what a fun one here tonight at Daytona. We hope you've enjoyed it. There's a look at the results. Hey, by the way, I just want to clarify for our buddy Scott Ollison, just so you understand it here. This was not an overtime attempt. They were still in the regular scheduled distance. This is officially the regular scheduled distance of lap 100 of 100 laps. That's what they completed. They did not go into overtime. Now, if they did go into overtime, Dean, then it would be 3 attempts at overtime. They have to take the white flag. If they do not take the white flag, then they'll reset for a second time, a third time. If at any time they take the white flag and the caution comes out on the third attempt, before the white flag on the third attempt, the field is frozen. On the last attempt at overtime, the third attempt, if they cannot get to the white flag, the field is frozen. Now, at any time in the overtime that they get the white flag, well, Dean, you know what happens, my friend. They race back to the checkered flag.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for elaborating that one. We'll take a short break, and then we'll gather those drivers.
Results. Colin Weatherholt,
Yes.
the winner, real quickly.
Yes, sir.
Highline Racing. Bo Tiffany, look at another Highline Racing driver. In second, Ryan Johnson will finish third. Bernard Person, Tyler Goodwin, your top 5. Tristan Bruce, Mark Nelson. Dean, what I see here as I look at the finishing order of this race, a lot of good names of drivers that we really might not know. I think they're going to get some spotlight here for sure in this series because, not the same old front runners, if you will, up in the top 15, top 20 tonight at Daytona.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's what we like to see, isn't it? Some new names in the mix here with some classics as well too. It's like music, isn't it? You want some new songs that come in there, and you got the old classics. So we got that mixture
right.
as well too.
Gotta love it. Gotta have your cake and eat it too, virtually. We're going to take a break from Daytona. By the way, don't forget, join us tomorrow night right here with Dean, myself, and Stephen Bartlett, the Viking, with coverage of the NASRA Cup Series, the duels from Daytona tomorrow night right here, Daytona, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central on the NASRA 360 Racing Network. We take a break. We'll grab the podium at the end of the Blanchard's Towing 250. Weatherbolt, Colin Weatherholt wins here in Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona. Boy, a good one here tonight when it's all said and done. A handful of caution flags presented by Serve Pro. And when it's done, it is 2 nights in a row. Winner last night has Circuit of the Americas to advance from the round of 20 to the Fast 14 in the DSR Electric Truck Series, and now winner here in the Blanchard's Towing and Recovery NASRA Xfinity Series tonight at Daytona in the Blanchard's Towing 250. Colin Weatherbolt, whatever you want to call him, he wins. Colin, congratulations, man. What a race. You played possum. Yeah, your name was in the back most of the way. When did you know that it was time to come to the front? And obviously, you made it work for Highline Racing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Wesley. Thank you. But it was all just a pit strategy from our HLR guys. they're the reason I was even close to up front and not wrecked out at the beginning of the race. And the pit strategy worked out. We all 3 or 4 of us that were on the lead lap were all there working together at the end, and we got lucky and all made it through that final wreck mostly unscathed. And I never in a million years would I thought that I'd have won tonight. I mean, super speedways just aren't my thing, and I'm just really, really thankful to have the teammates and the crew we had tonight working with us.
Man, take us to that last restart. What did you know that you needed to do to get around? Obviously, person and everybody coming after you, and it looked like really once that happened, your car just was the strongest it had been of anybody else tonight. It seemed like the outside lane, the third lane with Pappas and others were trying to get formed, and you wasn't going to let anybody get around you.
Yeah, Ryan and I both just chatted under caution and what we were going to do and what was going to get both of us to the end of the race at the front of the pack, and we both just agreed that it seemed like the best idea was to push Bernard up front and try to get around him and move up in front of Ryan. And Bernard ran a couple really good blocks, but it's hard to hold off some 2 guys that are trying to work together and get around him. So ended up working, and Ryan just gave me a hell of a push all the way around the last lap and a half. I mean, bumper to bumper the whole time. So it was kind of undeniable at that point.
I've got to ask you a question. Do you like these cars more than the trucks, do you think?
I haven't really run them too much. It's hard to tell. I've run a couple laps at Auto Club in preparation for next week, and I do like the way they feel and they drive. They seem to be a little bit looser and a little bit you got to be a little bit more disciplined on the throttle. So I think I'll end up liking these a little bit more than the trucks, but time will tell.
Hey, listen, thank your sponsors, but you're going to the playoffs after the round 1. How's that feel?
Yeah, being locked in is a crazy feeling in week 1, but yeah, just a big thank you to DSR Electric for coming on board all our Highline Racing cars and the rest of the Highline Racing crew and Bones Motorsports, and special shout out to Ryan and Bo for finishing up there on the podium. It was a good race.
There you go. There's the thoughts of Colin Weatherholt. He wins the Blanchard Towing 250 here tonight at Daytona for Highline Racing. Speaking of another Highline Racing driver, originally from Corning, New York, now from, of course, Mebane, North Carolina, Bo Tiffany in the 35, up 27 spots, highest climber of the race. Bo, you made some noise. You waited for the right time for that Bees Incorporated entry, BNCBs, to get to the front. You're taking this race and being second, sir.
Woo, man, that was a lot of fun. Congratulations, Colin, Ryan. I mean, we had a blast. I mean, if there's 2 guys that want to race for the win there, I mean, that was great. We were, you guys saw it. We are kind of rubbing doors there a little bit, but we made it back. And honestly, thank you to my teammate Tyler. I mean, Tyler was pushing me so hard. I don't know how we didn't wreck, but yeah, I mean, I missed the duels. I was out of town with family for my son's birthday, and come back and start at the back. And I just kind of played the fuel strategy there with Colin and Ryan. And then we got that little bit of a wreck, and I'm like, uh-oh, where am I going to go here? So I don't know, it's luck there at the end, I guess. But, I'm starting to get a lot of second and third place trophies.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, at the right place, right time. When did you tried to make the run, if you will, on Johnson and Weatherholder? Were they just so strong? You could get around Johnson for second, but you just couldn't get to the 22.
Yeah, they were stronger in the bottom. I think the bottom line was stronger here with these cars versus the trucks, the top line. And I think really the key was they knew what they were going to do when they took off on the restart. I was pushing Ryan. I was trying not to push him ahead of the 8 so I didn't get him a penalty. But, I mean, it was just they got right together, worked together. That's kind of why I went with them on the top. I had a feeling what they were going to do, and I knew they, being teammates, they're not going to wreck each other for the win. So I was like, it's just kind of timing it there. But, we only had 3 cars on the top versus 5 on the bottom, and we just didn't have the numbers or the strength there. But, man, Tyler gave me a hell of a shove.
Man, I'll tell you what, got to make you feel good to look at what's to come for this series this year, definitely. And, you're segue that into thanking your sponsors. But I know it's not a win, but it's definitely a consistent way to start the year going into Auto Club next week.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. I mean, anytime you can finish top 2, top 3, race for a win. I mean, it's Daytona. I mean, it's going to happen. That's the way the numbers work, but there's going to be a lot of competition this season, and you're going to see it, and you saw it tonight.
Sponsors, Bud, thanks for your time.
Yeah, man. BNCBs, and we've got a new team, Collective Esports. We put together some great new guys coming in to join us that have raced together in other leagues. So we're going to see some things there, and just thankful to everybody else that puts all this together. You guys in the booth, and Brady, and just everything that goes into it.
It was a good one for sure, but it's all said and done. The man originally from New York, now Mebane, North Carolina. Dean, we got to change that, by the way. I keep saying Corning, New York, but he's from Mebane, North Carolina now. That, of course, is Mr. Bo Tiffany. He'll finish in second. Highline Racing 1 and 2. Ryan Johnson, Taz, will finish third. The 38 machine. Ryan, Bud, I know you're on the podium. But what's your take of the race, the outcome, the finish of it? There were times you'd climb to the front, you fell to the back. Was that strategy for you to get out of harm's way to keep that car intact? And obviously, what's your take of the restart? If you had to do it again, would you have done things differently?
Oh no, man. Daytona is such an uncertainty. I mean, most of the super speedways are. You never know what's going to happen. Luckily, we got the start up front. Kind of like Colin said. I mean, we were using fuel strategy, and it seemed to be working for us. All the Highline guys, we just pitted well. I mean, we got on and off pit road together really good, and honestly, the race overall I think was really, really fun. There was a lot of clean racing. Had a couple wrecks, but it's expected. To come out of here with one incident point and a third place finish, I mean, I'll take that over 99% of my other super speedway races.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ryan, it was a fairly calm race tonight, wasn't it? I mean, I know there was a couple of chances of some crashes, but per se, we didn't really have that big one until probably with under 20 laps to go. Or, I mean, for the most part, everybody respected each other tonight. And why do you think the outside lane just did not work? We just couldn't get anything formed for 3 wide racing. Why does it seem like some races at Daytona, Talladega, maybe even the new Atlanta, we can see 3 and 4 wide, but it just couldn't happen here tonight?
I'm not sure why it wouldn't happen tonight. The only thing I can think of is that it doesn't seem like the bumpers line up very well anymore, and you can't just lock with somebody. You had to be really calculated and careful on when you were pushing somebody and how you push them, how hard, how much of a run you had before you hit them. Because majority of the time we can go 3 wide, I don't know how many rows deep, and it's, I mean, sometimes one line gets a run and other times the other, but at the end there, if you're asking about why the bottom lane worked, I mean, I was pushing the crap out of Colin. I wasn't letting anyone get around us if I could help it. As long as I didn't wreck him, we were coming to the checkered 1 and 2 or 1 and 3, which we got. So it worked out pretty good.
Well, Ryan, before we let you go, man, what's your take of these new drivers, these new talents, new names, if you will? I don't want to steal the line from NASCAR with the Xfinity series. Names are made here is what their quota is, and I think we could say the same thing about the Blanchard's Towing Xfinity series here. Names are made here, and we're seeing some new names making noise to compete for this series. I think it's going to be a fun year.
Oh yeah, I mean, me personally, I welcome all the talent. I mean, how are you going to get better if you don't have more competition? And I think we're always getting new competition in here and new and better. It's going to be a fun season, I think. I'm just looking forward to racing with a lot of these guys. I know a couple of them I've raced with before in other leagues, and they're really good, clean racers. So it should be a fun season.
All right, buddy. Before we let you go, thank them sponsors. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, just got to thank everyone here at Nazra, giving us a good place to race on Tuesday nights. You guys for broadcasting, DSR Electric for coming on board for Highline, all my teammates at Highline, and Jason for getting us together, and Josh Suss for my paint, and another reason we're all together this season. So
there you go. There it is. There's the thoughts, of course, when it's all said and done by Mr. Ryan Johnson. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our coverage tonight from virtual Daytona. We now set our sights into next Tuesday night, and we'll be ready to go to Auto Club Speedway. If you want to take a look real quickly at the upcoming schedule, there it is as we move into Auto Club Pocono very unique racetracks, if you will, Dean Hopton, where we're going to be the next couple of weeks. But the wild card is out of the way. That is Daytona. But tonight was a pretty fun time. Your final take of things, sir, at the Blanchard Towing 250.
Oh, a lot of fun. The drivers enjoyed themselves. An unfortunate couple of wrecks towards the end there, but pit stop strategies did pay off. That's what was mentioned too, that you heard. So that's what you like to see when you get some good green flag racing. You get to see the masterminds behind calculating, crunching those numbers, working together. So if you've got enough gasoline, when are we going in? And as you can see the results, it pays off when you get it right.
Yeah, when it was all said and done, no doubt about it, everyone played their cards right, patience, and had a couple of incidents, some thrills, some spills, but for the most part, everybody was very mindful and a very exciting race, no doubt, coming down to the end when it was all said and done. We're going to Auto Club next week. Hey, by the way, don't forget, tomorrow night, we're right here at the Virtual World Center of Racing at Daytona for the NASRA Cup Series, the duels from Daytona tomorrow night. Will join us on the NASRA 360 Racing Network at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 Central. It is the premier racing setups, NASRA duels from Daytona for the NASRA Cup Series. It should be exciting to see how that is the final preliminary before their big race at Daytona next Wednesday night. Don't forget about Goat Locker Racing and the Arc of Thunder on Thursday. Jacob Reeves, Dean Hopton in the booth. And don't forget as well about the NASRA Cup Series on Friday night. And don't forget also the playoffs continue at Richmond next Monday night for the NASRA DSR Electric Truck Series. Dean, I think I pretty much covered it all, didn't I?
I think you got it all. Yeah.
There you go.
You can now sign up and we can show your lovely
show my ugly
information,
mug one more time. I am the commentator, not commentators, but Dean.
yes.
Dean, if your face is not showed in the broadcast next week, I am retiring from NASRA.
No, don't do that. No, I was going to say you got to fly down and come and see me. I'm like, that's fine. Yeah, that's all right. I'll do it. Don't retire.
No.
All right.
No, I'm going to retire if you don't have your face in the picture in the box next week. So definitely. Now, ladies and gentlemen, always a fun time working with Biggles, Dean Hopton. Thank you to you and yours. Be safe if you're in the path of Hurricane Milton. We're still thinking about everybody in Western North Carolina. God bless you all. God bless America. Thanks for taking the time to join us for the NASRA Blanchard's Towing Xfinity Series. It sure was a good one as you see the results one more time. Highline Racing 1 and 2, Ryan Johnson 3, again Bo Tiffany and Colin Weatherholt joining them as the winner here tonight at the Virtual World Center of Racing. NASRA-racing.com for more information. Of course, for the people that operate the North American Sim Racing Association, including Brady LaBeouf and Cody Knott. Race Director TJ Moore tonight. For Producer Director Dean Hopton, this is Wesley Outland thanking you for joining us. And the Blanchard's Towing 250 goes to Weatherbolt. Colin Weatherholt wins in Daytona. We'll see you tomorrow night right here at Daytona for the NASRA Cup Series duels. Good evening.